Hi, my dear children. How are you? Hope you are good. You are sitting at home and watching the virtual class given by the teachers. Children, really we are missing you a lot. Hope you are missing us too. I want to share my view based on the experience which I had when I interacted with some children based on or updating with the virtual class. According to my view, there are three category of students. The first category of students are those who are deeply interested in watching the class and they will be absorbing the subject content or they will be understanding the subject in such a way that their mental growth or the expansion of mental growth in them will be very high. The second category students are those who will be watching the class but depending upon the interest which they are showing while watching the class. And according to this, the absorption of subject knowledge or the understanding of the subject content will be depending on the interest of the child. When we compare to the first category of the children or the student, it will be less. Now the third category of children or students are those who will not show interest in the virtual class, and if they are showing interest or watching the class, they will just peripherally moving on with the video and will not understand what is the content or they will not absorb the subject content properly and their expansion growth rate will be minimum or maybe it will be nil. My dear children, why I have given this kind of explanation and I have made a category among the students because as you are 10th standard children and after your 10th standard you will be selecting the subject as you are having a dream to reach your goal in your life. If you are updating with the subject knowledge, surely, my dear children, you will be able to select which subject you want to move on in your life or you will be selecting the stream. For example, if you want to select biology science or commerce or humanities, you have to update according to the subject. And if you are doing so, surely, my dear children, you will be reaching your goal where you will be getting contentment. It is up to you whether you want to update with the subject knowledge or not. Remember, dear children, growing older is mandatory. It is necessary. But growing up is optional. By saying this, I move on to the biology class where in the previous session we have studied or learned about the structure of brain as well as spinal cord and we studied reflex action and the pathway through which the impulse travels, which is known as reflex arc, which is related to reflex action and these are connected to the spinal cord. So my dear children, I think you would have recollected what I have said related to the previous session and you have completed your work. Okay children, here we begin with the next topic, autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is a part of peripheral nervous system and it is the system that acts as a control system functioning largely below the level of conscious and controls function. Once again I repeat, it is a part of peripheral nervous system that acts as a control system functioning largely below the level of consciousness and controls function. So with this statement we can say that there are certain activities taking place inside our body which is happening unknowingly. We are not knowing about it, we are not conscious about it, and all those system which is functioning there is under the control of autonomic nervous system. It is responsible for control of involuntary or visceral bodily function. Visceral means same, that is autonomic nervous system. So as this word involuntary, that means I told you just now, unconsciously certain things is happening inside our body, that is the organ parts, they are functioning there, but we are not conscious about it. So those functions related with the organ parts are controlled by autonomic nervous system. They are responsible for such kind of functioning. Here we can take examples. Cardiovascular. Cardiovascular, we know that it's related with our heart, the functioning of heart, the functioning of lungs, that is respiratory, functioning of stomach, digestive, the functioning of kidney, urinary, isn't it? The functioning of sexual parts, that is reproductive functions. Or as well as you can say, it is also playing a key role in the body's response to stress. Any stress if you are having, that is also being controlled by autonomic nervous system. So I think you would have understood what is autonomic nervous system. Okay my dear children, and one more thing, when we are dealing with autonomic nervous system, I told you some unconscious functions are taking place in our body where we are not at all conscious. So, and related to that, we can say that there are many instances taking place in our life in which we felt sudden fear or sadness. My dear children, I can give you one example which has happened yesterday. When I was coming to the school on my vehicle, when I was crossing a small canal, there I saw a snake just moving very fastly and coming towards me. When I saw the snake, I was somewhat in fear. That means I don't know what happened that moment. The activities in my body was completely changed. I was not in my control. I was conscious, but I don't know what many changes were taking place that time. My eye was dilated, that means the pupil present in my eye dilated. The heartbeat rate increased, the breathing rate, it increased. So many changes took place that time when I saw the snake coming near to me. So this is the thing, see, for example, here it is being said, seeing a snake suddenly, this thing has happened to me yesterday. It's an example. Number 2, a dog running behind us. This is another example. When we see a dog running behind us, surely we know what all changes will be taking place in our body. Seeing an accident, isn't it? Hearing unknown voice at night. In the night when we are sleeping or when we are sitting there at home, some noise, some voice will be taking, we will be listening. That time we will not be happy to hear those voices, isn't it? We will be into certain kind of fear, and because of that fear, there will be changes taking place inside our body. Next thing, notching a staker behind us. That means an unknown person coming behind us, and we are just seeing, watching. Yes, he is coming, and he is coming. What will happen to us? Surely we will be again feeling fear, and the changes will be taking place in our body. Because of certain changes, we will be into the fear, isn't it? And what are the changes? As I told you, when we are into certain emergency situations, changes are taking place in our body. So what are the changes that occur in our body during such situations? Here we can see, related to heartbeat increases. When we are thinking about trachea, the breathing rate, trachea expands. When we are connecting to our eye, in the eye there is a part called pupil. It will dilate, that means it expands. Next, when we are connecting with the mouth region, we know that there is secretion of saliva in the mouth, and the production of saliva during such situation, it decreases. So these are certain changes which we will be feeling, or which we will be having in the situations which I have said before, isn't it? So now it has been said that autonomous nervous system are of two types. Based on this study, we can say that autonomous nervous system are of two types: sympathetic and parasympathetic. Here we can see, or we can analyze illustration related to sympathetic system and parasympathetic system according to the changes taking place in the body during emergency situation. So here you can see, my dear children, as I told you, when I saw the snake, the changes which took place inside my body are: number one, when we are coming to the eye region, dilates pupil. That means that time my pupil expanded. Number two, what happened? Inhibit salivation. That means during that situation, the sympathetic system, what it will do? It will inhibit salivation. No saliva production will be taking place in our mouth. Third, accelerates heart. That means the heartbeat rate increases. Then facilitates breathing. Respiratory rate in the lungs will increase. Then when you are coming to the stomach region, inhibits digestion. What does this means? Inhibits digestion. That means that time, in that situation, what all food we have taken, that time digestive process which is taking place, it will be inhibited. It will be stopping there because of that situation. Next one, when we are coming to the kidney region, secrete epinephrine and norepinephrine. This epinephrine and norepinephrine both are the hormones secreted by the gland which is present here on the top of the kidney in the form of a cap, and this gland is called as adrenal gland. And from adrenal gland, epinephrine and norepinephrine is produced when the emergency situations are taking place, and during that time it will help to fight. At that time it will help our body to fight or flight. To fight means we will be able to face the situation, or flight means we will be how we have to overcome the situation, that will be done by the body. Next one is related with the reproductive part, that is urinary bladder as well as the sex organs. In the case of urinary bladder, it relaxes, and in the case of the sex organs, inhibits the sex organs function. So this is how sympathetic system function when we are into any emergency situation. But this function, it will not long last. After a period of time, what will happen? We can see, we can come to this side, we can see parasympathetic system. So after a period of time, parasympathetic system starts to function there. As we are seeing here, pupil dilates. When the emergency situation comes, pupil dilates. But after that, when we are in a normal way, what is happening to the eye? Constricts pupil. So the pupil is coming to the normal state. Second thing, again, when we are coming to the second one, that is related to the salivary gland, there, in the case of parasympathetic system, stimulates salivation. That means after overcoming the situation, there will be the production of saliva. And the third one is related to the heart. What is happening there? Slows heart. That means the heartbeat rate will become normal. When we are coming to the lungs area, we can see constrict breathing. That means the respiratory rate will become normal. The breathing rate will become normal. And related to the stomach, stimulates digestion. Again, the digestive process begins there by secreting the hydrochloric acid and the enzymes which is needed there for the digestive process. Related to the, again when we are coming to the this one, that is in the case of sympathetic system, I was not able, I didn't explain you about the this one, gallbladder area, that is liver, isn't it? In the case of liver, during sympathetic system, that is during the emergency system, here what happens? It stimulates release of glucose. Why it is happening, my dear children, in this area like this? Stimulate the release of glucose. See, my dear children, during emergency situation, we need more energy for overcoming that situation. So for the next normal situation, we need the glucose, and it is being produced there. And as it is stored in the liver, from there the glucose will be produced there. But when the situation becomes normal, what will happen? The gallbladder will be stimulated there and it will be functioning as usual. Next one, when we are coming to the urinary bladder as well as the reproductive part, we can see the bladder contracts and the reproductive part, that is sex organs, they again will be moving to the normal functioning level. So this is how we can differentiate sympathetic and parasympathetic. I think you would have understood what is sympathetic and what is parasympathetic. Sympathetic means it is the system which functions when we are into emergency situation, and parasympathetic means it is a system which functions when we are overcoming the emergency situation, when we are moving to the normal life activity. Okay, my dear children, I think you would have understood what is sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Now, if we are taking proper diet, if we are taking the food which is rich in nutrient, which the body require for its proper functioning, the system which is present in our body, it will function, it will work properly. It can regulate all its activity in a proper way. But if the nutrient which we are taking is less or it is decreased in its quantity, surely it will affect the system which is functioning in our body. That is the heart, the kidney, the liver, the lungs, the brain, everything will be affected there if you are not taking proper nutrient. And that will lead to disorders or diseases. So here we can see diseases related to nervous system. So familiar disease disorders that affects the nervous systems are rabies. You may be knowing this term, rabies, stroke, sclerosis, Alzheimer's, Parkinson, epilepsy. All these are the disorders which are taking place because of the dysfunctioning of nervous system. And among these disorders, we are going to study about Alzheimer's, Parkinson and epilepsy. So here you can see Alzheimer's. The cause for Alzheimer's is accumulation of an insoluble protein in the neural tissue of the brain. In the brain, we know, my dear children, numerous nervous or we can say numerous neurons are present there. And these neurons, they are giving the messages in the form of impulses or we can say in the form of electric charges. Now, what is happening there? If a protein which is insoluble there, that protein will accumulate in the tissues of the neuron, and what will happen? It will cause damage to the brain. Now, when this happens, what are the symptoms taking place there? Loss of memory, inability to do routine works and to recognize friends and relatives. My dear children, you would have seen a movie in which Mohanlal has acted. He was actor, and that movie, I think it is Tanmatra, where Mohanlal was acting and doing the role of a father. In the beginning, how active he was with his son's work. He was having a dream for his son. So he wanted to make his son an IAS officer. So for that he used to collect all the materials and he used to give it to the son, and many other things he used to do. But slowly what happened? He started to lose his memory. He don't know where he has kept the materials. He don't know what he is doing. The moment he will be able to remember, but the next moment he will be forgetting. And same way, inability to do routine works. That is the thing what I want to explain here. He was not able to do the routine works properly. Later on in the movie, if we have seen the movie, we can recollect that part. And to recognize friends and relatives. It was difficult for him to recognize even his son also. So this is the symptom related to Alzheimer's. The second one is Parkinson. The cause is production of dopamine in the brain get reduced. Dopamine, we have studied, it is a neurotransmitter which is present there in the synaptic node of the neuron. So what is happening there? When the dopamine is getting reduced, the disease Parkinson is taking place, and the symptom of the disease are loss of body balance, irregular movement of muscles, shivering of body. Next one is profuse salivation. All these symptoms we can see in the old age people, isn't it? In them we can see they cannot move or they cannot walk properly, isn't it? If they are trying to walk, they cannot balance their body. And as what is happening there? Because irregular movement of muscle is taking place. Irregular movement of muscles means the contraction and the relaxation of the muscle is not proper. Then shivering of the body. You would have seen in the old age people when they will keep their hand, it will start to shiver like this, isn't it? And next one, profuse salivation. In some of the people we can see the saliva coming out from their mouth continuously. So these are the symptoms of Parkinson disease. And the last one is epilepsy. Causes continuous and irregular flow of electric charges in the brain. As I told you, the messages has to reach the brain and the brain will respond, then only we will be able to do that activity. And if the message is not moving properly, it is breaking somewhere, surely what will happen? The response will not come back. So here what is happening? Continuous and irregular flow of electric charges is taking place. That means the message in the form of electric charge is not reaching to the brain continuously. And it is breaking in such a way that it is becoming an irregular and a continuous irregular flow of electric charges is taking place there. Continuously this irregular flow of electric charge is taking place in the brain. Now as the cause is there, we can see the symptom of epilepsy, continuous muscular contraction, fourth discharge from the mouth, clenching of the teeth, following which the patient falls unconscious. You may be, if I am telling you the other word related to epilepsy, you will be getting what is epilepsy. By the symptom itself, you may be now knowing what is epilepsy. We used to say fits, isn't it? A person who is having fit, they will be having such kind of symptoms. That is continuous muscular contraction there in them. There is no relaxation of muscles taking place. Continuously the muscles contracts and then only for a period of time it relaxes. And next thing, fourth discharge from the mouth. When the person is into epilepsy, that time the discharge will be taking place, will be having a fluid, or we can just fourth means a form will be seen there, isn't it? Next one, clenching of the teeth. The teeth, they will be doing like this, isn't it? That is keeping the teeth tightly and not opening the mouth properly, and they are biting the teeth, isn't it? Then due to which what is happening? The patient will be falling unconscious. So this is the symptom of epilepsy. Okay, my dear children, so I think you have understood about the three disorders of nervous system, and it is our duty to keep our system properly by taking good food which should have nutrient. It may be micronutrient or macronutrient. It should be in equal proportion so that we will be healthy and our system will be functioning in a healthy way. So before winding up with the thing or the session, I summarize the lesson. First we have studied about what is stimuli and receptors, and then we just move on with the structure of neuron. Then later on, related to the neuron, how the impulses are generated and transmitted, and synapse. Then we studied about nerves, and then after studying about the types of nerves, we studied about the structure and function of brain and spinal cord. Related to the spinal cord, we studied about reflex action and reflex arc. And in today's session, we learned autonomous nervous system and its types, sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Then the last we studied about the disorders taking place in the nervous system. I think, my dear children, you have understood the chapter. With this, the chapter is completed, and you can see here, let us assess, that is the questions related to the chapter which you have to do in your file. The first question is the part of brain which helps to maintain balance in the body, and you can see the options are there: cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, thalamus. Among these four options, you have to select the correct one. Question number 2, identify the relation and fill in the blank. Here you can see the A part. Irregular flow of charge in the brain is to epilepsy. Just now we have studied this topic, isn't it? Irregular flow of charge in the brain is to epilepsy. How it is connected? See, this is the cause, and the cause is related with the disease. So the same way you have to answer for B part. Decrease in the production of dopamine is to dash. This part also now only I have completed. Third question, analyze the following situations and answer the questions. You can see the situations. Number 1, a thorn pierces the foot. Number 2, related with the first statement, the leg is withdrawn. And the third statement is the thorn is taken out slowly. So these are the 3 statements related to the foot. Now the question is, write the stimuli and responses which is taking place according to that statement. B part, was the leg withdrawn after sensing the pain? You have to write there yes or no. Next question, identify the reflex action which is taking place in that situation. The third question is, prepare an illustration showing the parts through which the impulses were transmitted. This also you have studied in the previous class. The fourth question is, what should be our approach towards people affected by nervous disorders? This part you have studied now, and I think you will be able to answer to these questions. If you are having any doubt related to this part or related to this question, you can call me anytime. I will be helping. So be happy, be healthy, and I am taking a break now. We will be meeting in the next class. Have a great day. Thank you.